Here we go. Hey guys, it's Friday, June the 18th, 2021. I'm Jennifer Foley, realtor in Durham Region, just outside of Toronto, Ontario, covering the areas of Oshawa, Whitby, Bowmanville, Newcastle, and I'm here with my co-host.
My name is Faeine Grant. I am a realtor here in the Fraser Valley of British Columbia. So we are about 45 minutes east of Vancouver, and I'm based out of Abbotsford, but I cover all of the Fraser Valley. So Abbotsford, Chilliwack, Mission, and Langley, and then even going into Maple Ridge as well too.
Awesome. So Faeine, today we're going to talk a little bit about what our average prices have been in each of our respective areas, and what buyers can expect if they're looking to buy a home, whether it be in my area here in Durham Region, in Ontario, or in your area in Abbotsford, BC. So I'm going to let you start. So you go ahead.
Yeah. So how I've kind of looked at it is that, I kind of broke it up into categories, right? So, our first kind of milestone, like sort of the lowest cost homes in Abbotsford, I find are going to be the condos that are age restricted. So that are primarily for 55 plus. People that are over 55, basically. And so I find that those are the ones that you're going to get for anything 300,000 and less. Sorry, the camera just went weird there. Am I still on?
You are. I just put you on by yourself.
Okay, awesome. So basically if you have a budget of about 300,000, you're either going to be in the category of everything. A lot of what you're going to find online is going to be for ages 55 plus. But there are also some options, in some older buildings, 1970s, 1980s buildings that can still get you somewhere in between 300,000 and 400,000. And older buildings aren't necessarily bad, just so everybody knows.
Exactly.
What can between 300,000 and 400,000 get you in Oshawa?
Not a whole lot.
Yeah, right. It used to be that 300K was like, hey, you can get decent condo for that, right on. And
no, you can't. In the areas that I work in, primarily Oshawa and the Bowmanville, Clarington area.
Yeah.
You're looking. I'm just looking at the last 2 weeks of sales.
Yeah.
There's actually only one sale that's at 212,000, but that is not even really something to even talk about because that's like student housing.
Okay.
So it's like a little flat. But everything, for the last 2 weeks, your sales start at 400. So you're looking at a condo apartment, 2 bedrooms, in the downtown Oshawa area. For Bowmanville, the lowest sale was in the low 400s. That was actually for a 2-bedroom bungalow, which actually is pretty, low considering we don't see a whole lot under 6. To be quite honest, for a lot of the condos, whether it be a townhouse, they are edging up in the high 500s, 600 range, and going up from there. So we're not seeing a whole lot. In terms of the last housing report that came out from our local Durham Region Association of Realtors from May 2020, the average price for a detached home in Clarington, which is Bowmanville, Newcastle, Curtis, and some of the outlying areas, was actually 964,561.
Yeah.
If you were looking at Oshawa, you're looking at $847,000 for that. And condos, again, Oshawa average price is 455,000, and Clarington's 523,000 for a condo apartment. Now, condo townhouse is a little different. The price point was averaged at 706, and then for Oshawa 536. So there's some variances there depending on what's sold and the location. So but anybody looking to get into the market should expect that they need to at least be fairly honest with themselves that they're going to be looking at buying over 500,000, right? So
100%. Yeah. Yeah, same here. In BC, we have something for first-time homebuyers. I'm not sure if it's the same in Ontario, but it's called the First-Time Homebuyers Grant. And
Yeah,
so, basically, if a first-time buyer purchases a home under 500,000, then they don't need to pay what's called the property transfer tax.
yeah,
And it used to be that first-time homebuyers could get into a townhouse, and they're like, "Hey, it's okay. They can kind of just bypass that condo stage
yeah,
and get a townhouse for 499." But that's not the case anymore. Like, if you're to get a decent condo, you're lucky if you can get something for under 500,000 for a 2-bedroom that's relatively new. And if you're looking at a townhouse, my goodness, you're looking at least 550, and they go right up into 850 here. So
Do
yeah.
you have a lot of townhouses or condos? I mean, like, is that the majority of your marketplace, or is it more detached homes, or what specifically could I expect if I was moving there? What could I
Yeah.
expect in terms of sorry, I'm just trying to disconnect my AirPods from my phone here.
Love
Uh,
technology.
yeah. So
Yeah, of
it's
course. Yeah.
ringing in the ear.
So
Uh, yeah, go ahead.
of all of the three places that I primarily work in, so Abbotsford, Chilliwack, and Mission, I
Yeah.
would say that in Abbotsford, it when I first moved out here, which is about 10 years ago, there were hardly any condos at all. Like, a lot of the property here was predominantly townhouses and single family detached. Now, of course, over the last 10 years, because there's still so much land here, lots of condo buildings have been being built. There's lots of new construction here. So a lot of the multi is definitely something that's more common. And I think that that's kind of, how it is throughout the valley. Now, same with Chilliwack. It's kind of the same thing out there, right? Prices are a little bit softer, but really not that much.
Yeah.
Now, Mission, on the other hand, is primarily single family detached and townhouses. The only condos that I can really think of in Mission are the 55 plus and catered towards seniors. But in my marketplace here in Abbotsford, yeah, you really have a healthy mix of everything, which is nice. We're getting a lot of I don't know if you have this there, but like bare land strata. So a lot of single family detached, but they're in kind of like a gated community. So
Okay.
you're
Yeah.
not attached, like, yeah, you're not sharing walls, but typically your backyard and your property lot is going to be a little bit smaller, and that's how the developers are able to fit
Yeah.
more. They're able to build that one or two extra house in the subdivision by making it a bare land strata.
Yeah, we don't call them that, but they're a little bit different. Most of our properties are detached or a link style home, so a lot of 2 stories in Oshawa, Bowmanville, Newcastle. You've got some older bungalows. Some of the newer subdivisions, you're going to find bungalows. I would say for somebody that's maybe moving out of the city, out of the Toronto area, that is looking to capitalize on, selling their home in Toronto for a good chunk of money, and keeping some in their bank account and maybe moving east, which is what we're experiencing now, and I'm sure in your area you are as well. So
Exactly the same with Vancouver. People are coming east, yeah,
yeah.
to where we are. That's right.
Yeah, so we don't have a lot of condos. So if somebody's looking for condo living, that's not really something we have a lot of here. Certainly
Interesting.
there's more and more that are cropping up and coming up, but
Yeah.
the majority of what's being built and what is already established here in terms of resale homes, 2 stories, semi-detached, townhomes, typically the townhomes you'll find are in the 15 to 20 year range and newer.
Okay.
Um, and a lot of, like I said, 2-story homes. That seems to be the bulk of our sales here. Is
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
right now, townhouses are very hot. Semi-detaches
Yes.
homes, which is they're attached by one wall, two separate homes.
Yep.
So they share a common wall. That's a hot price point as well.
I bet.
Yeah, and the detached homes, I mean, the average for Durham Region is actually, we finally reached $1 million, which is
Yeah.
unbelievable, really, because I just sold a house in a great neighborhood, just off Harmony Road in Oshawa here, and the neighborhood sales a couple of years ago were, so for 2019, the average price was around the low 500s. And unbelievable that that neighborhood now, not because there's anything wrong with the neighborhood, but just shockingly the price acceleration. It's now sold in the mid 800s to 900 range. And so those homeowners are really, really reaping the benefits. But, there's pros and cons to buying in this market right now. And will things change? Who knows, right? I mean, we have no idea, but we know that money is cheap. So interest rates are still historically low.
Yep.
And it's a great time to be investing in your real estate future, whether you're building your portfolio or looking to, move up. There's a lot of people, different reasons that COVID has changed the way people view their homes, and they're making this move, right?
Yeah. Well, it's crazy too, because it used to be that being in Abbotsford for 800,000, you could get like a decent detached home.
Yeah.
And now it's like just for your basic home for $1 million,
Yeah.
chances are it probably doesn't have a suite or it needs a lot of work, right?
Yeah.
And the homes that do have suites, they're, in decent neighborhoods. I mean, they're all going for, I want to say like 1.3 to 1.5. And then the higher end is like 1.5 and up, right? And it's just, like it's shocking how prices have gone up even just over the last year. Like, wow, it's mind blowing. I have to keep checking the prices all the time, because
I would agree, in our area too, right?
Yeah, like if you miss an area for like a month, say, right, this tiny little pocket, I find myself, I'm like, oh, okay, I better go check and just see what things have done over the last 4 weeks, right? Just because it's changed so much.
Yeah, it's constantly changing, right? So,
yeah,
I do find that our marketplace, I don't want to say it's softening, but it's softening in that you don't have the competitive offers the way we did, say, a month ago or 2 months ago or even 3 months ago.
Interesting.
Yeah, so we still have, properties, if they show well and they've been staged and, they're in that entry level semi-detached townhouse home that's quite popular right now, then they may get, and also too, if they're pricing it ridiculously low.
Yes.
Then, those properties, there's still those buyers that seem to jump in and, just pay astronomical amounts of money.
Yeah.
But yeah, those homes are still getting a good number of offers, but then the other ones that maybe, I mean, for me in the last month, I've been negotiating on properties where I'm not really competing against anybody else.
Wow.
So,
that's amazing.
Yeah, and same with on some of my listings. We may not be getting tons of offers, but we're still selling over our asking, and we're pricing it at fair market value. So, buyer demand is still there. It's just not the same degree it was. So.
For sure. Yeah, we're seeing less competitive offers, but it depends on what type of product it is, right? Like if if it's like if it's like priced at like $499, for example, you get all those first time home buyers that are trying to, stay under the $500,000 price point.
Yeah.
That's always going to be popular here no matter what, just because of the rules of the property transfer tax exemption.
Yeah.
But right now, the single family detached with a rental suite underneath is that's our hot priority, or like hot topic.
We have that too. There's just not a lot of them.
Yeah. That's what everybody is kind of wanting right now. I had a buyer that fought with 14 other offers. So 15 including
ours. Are those properties vacant then that they're competing on those? No, so they have tenants in them?
No, not necessarily. Like, so typically owner lives upstairs and then downstairs has a tenant.
What I'm seeing is the properties that have those type of scenarios where there's 2 units in our area here in Oshawa and Bowmanville, Newcastle, Durham. You're seeing those properties that have 2 units, whether they're legal or they just have a second kitchen. Those properties that are vacant or owner occupied and vacant, second, like lower level, then those offers or those properties are selling for huge amounts of money, like around 800,000.
Okay.
Plus or minus on either end of that. If they have tenants in them, typically they're not getting that much money because the rents are so low. Right. So,
I see what you're saying. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so the rents on some of these properties, they're much lower. So then that impacts the the ultimate selling price, right?
Yeah.
For these properties,
For
because
sure.
the new owners are looking at, well, what's our expenses, what's our cost going to be, and how much are we getting in, right? So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I think we're running 15 minutes now. So if anybody's made it this far, then certainly DM us.
For joining us.
Message. I can be found at Jennifer Foley Realtor, and love to hear from you. So DM the word hot market, and we'll know you got this far in our video. Thanks so much for watching.
Awesome.
Where can we find you?
And you can reach me at my website, themodernrealtors.com, and also on Facebook, Instagram, and come visit our page on Instagram as well too.
What's it called, Faeine?
It's the Jen and Faeine Show.
All right, perfect. Yeah, so like,
links in the comments. How about that?
All of that stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys, for watching.
Bye.